right, let's get going. Hey everybody, how you doing? I am your party artist. My name is Kim. Welcome to Cartoon Monday. And I am always here at my studio, here to help you have fun with a little bit of cartooning, get you started with learning how to do cartoons. Now, if you've never done them before, you're in for a treat because I've never done them before either. No, I'm kidding. I've done cartooning before. And I'm going to show you the basic steps to get you started. I show you the basics and you can just take it from there. And then I just sit here and try to help you as much as I can. I'm live, so this is what makes it fun. So let me just pull in my chair a little bit here. Hopefully you can still see what I'm doing with my chair not getting in the way. Sometimes it travels. It's traveling. It's traveling. Hold on a second. Still moving. It's still shifting, and it's still shifting, and it's still shifting, and is it going to get in the way though? No, it's not going to get in the way. All right. I just want to make sure of that. Okay, so when you start doing cartooning, you start with the basic shapes. You start with your anybody triangle shape, right? And circle, right? Yeah, circle. And what else do you have? Oh, that's right. You have the square shapes. And then, yes, of course, that last one, that's the organic, whatever you want to call it, shape. And you can add and move around and use all these shapes to make something that maybe looks human, subhuman, kind of not real, real, surreal. Anything that you want to have made into a cartoon can be made into a cartoon. You break things down into their basic shapes, you make it a whole lot easier to do, right? Okay, so this morning I'm going to show you how, okay, because sometimes I get ahead of myself and I start going, okay. So there's cone shapes. Of course, I told you about the cone shapes the one time. I should tell you about the cylinder shapes because that's like a circle with a square kind of attached. And this is like a circle and a triangle attached kind of thing, if you think about it. And then, of course, there's always the circle. You can make it into an oval shape or even make it look a little bit more rounder by adding like shadow to it, making it look like it's three-dimensional very easily by adding a little bit of shading here and there. You can make something look almost as if it was real. If you play with it, pencil and paper are always a lot better than using whiteboard marker. But, we use what we have to show you ideas and concepts and blah, blah, blah. This is how I work. I work right from the skin of my teeth right to the end of my pen or pencil, whatever. All right, so with all those different shapes and designs, you can do all kinds of interesting things and make all kinds of things that are real, things that are cartoonish. If you want to make it more comic book style, you can get into perspective. Perspective is very, very important because that's where you see a box like that. And then you give it a little bit of dimension, which adds to it. Kind of like that. You can it's not a great box, but it just gives you an idea. Like it gives you more a three-dimensional. If there was a vanishing point, everything would kind of go to that point. So if you had anything that was kind of in a line there, it would follow along the same line into the distance, and you would have the same boxes kind of going across, just getting smaller as they go further away from you, kind of thing. All this learning about when you want to get good at doing like Spider-Man and the Hulk, those things when you want to do the real comic book stuff, right? Get into like doing that kind of thing. It's always fun. I enjoy doing that. I used to do murals. Well, I do murals, but I did a mural for a theme room one time, but it was all superheroes, and I had to really keep in mind perspective so that the person's body looked like they were flying above you in a certain angle where you could see their one arm really close to you, but their one arm was really far away. So it was kind of like this, right? So you can see this hand is bigger than the face would be. And of course, when you're drawing it, it looks weird, but when you're thinking about what direction it's going in, it all makes sense. Because if you have something that's moving in one direction, things that are far away from you, things that are close, you do like that, right? Okay. The fun of just showing you how foreshortening works, and that's how it kind of goes too. Even this box, it would probably be a little bit shorter just because it was a smaller box further away from you, right? So kind of like further away from you, kind of thing. Anyways, so there's that. There's all kinds of things that you can learn by doing cartooning. A lot of good books. Christopher Hart is a good one. Jim Davis. Of course, there's Matt Groening. There's all kinds of Scott Adams. There's even political comics and cartoonists and things like that. Things that bring to light things that make you laugh or things that give humor, that kind of thing. Let's see. It's like changing a letter in a word, right? Okay, I'll give you an idea. Okay, and this is a fun one that I'd like to do. So if you take the word daughter, which I am, any daughters out there? Yeah, like if you take the word daughter, and you just remove one of the letters and change it into something else. Now you've got laughter. And you can play with that and making a cartoon out of it. So you can make a girl laughing. See, make their face. Kind of that's her hair there. I'm trying to think of her in very basic. You can change it to daughters. A daughter's laughter. Which could be like something like that, right? Ta-da. Playing with words, playing with ideas, coming up with something interesting. Oh, yes, yes. And I'll give you an idea. I give you a great idea. I'm working on one right now, actually. It's a play on words. See, it goes kind of like this. I can't draw it right, but I'll draw it quickly. I'm drawing it quickly, so that's why it's not being drawn right. Okay. So it's kind of like this. Playing cards. And all right. You're gonna like this one. Okay, so the story that I'm doing is a play on words because it's a devil suit. We're playing the game of cards, so it's a game of cards. It's making a bet. It's kind of like that, or you could make it into something that. Oh, sorry, if I'm eraser for a second. To be along this line. could be the devil's suit, like the devil wearing a suit. So it could be like a play on visuals, the suit of cards or the devil's suit, because you're wearing one, right? So there's a little play on words, and the stories are also playing on the same thing too, where there's the hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds, right? So I had to kind of go uh, hearts, spades. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Diamond with a diamond. Diamonds are girls' best friends, you know. But let me show you. So, you do your, and you guys can do this too if you want to draw like the suits. Is very easy. Nice, very varied shapes. So, shiny. But, well, okay, so this one's, they all have different stories attached to them. So this one, the devil's, I see, the devil's, because name of the stories are called The Devil's Heart, The Devil's Spade, The Devil's Club, and The Devil's Diamond. So for The Devil's Heart, I did, it's a romantic slash, um, uh, they all have a little mystery. They all have a little mystery to them. They all have, um, what is it called? Okay, so this is The Devil's Heart from a romantic story. The Devil's Spade is about messy. Divorced. A messy divorce. So, uh, so we'll call the thing that has to do with, immortal. Immortal. Divorce. An interesting story I did of The Devil's Spade. The Devil's Club is about vampires. And the Devil's Diamond is about contracts. High voltage! Thunder Jeep! Dirty deeds! Maybe I should make dirty deeds. So, from that idea, I get like all kinds of different stories from. Put it immortal. They have a common theme. There's a little bit of something sinister in all of them. And you can imagine the characters that go along with it. How would they look? How would they act? What would they look like? What would they wear? You can, when you do cartooning, you can think of all those things and bring it into the forefront. Have it say, what do you want your characters to do for the devil's heart? What do you want them to wear for the devil's spade? Uh, devil's heart, of course, involves love. Like the divorce is unfortunately the hate part of it. The club has to do more with being a part of something, and the diamond is is an obligation. Okay, obligation. Because sometimes these are also things that become little things in our lives that develop or become good, become part of good, become part of bad. These things all cause things to happen. And you think about your character when you make your comics, when you're doing like a big comic idea like this, you have to think about that kind of thing. You break them all down into their sub character and what you can figure out what they like to eat or drink, blah blah blah. If you want to play with it a lot, that gives you an idea. If you want to ever do an idea, I have that. That's one of my stories that I like to work on when I get a chance. Let's see. So that's one idea for a story. Let's see if another story that I have. Well, even the ones that I have, I do have a story out there for any of you who are interested in a nice fantasy story. Uh, it's called, I think it's called sorry, let me try that again. The Plight of Time is the name of my story that I wrote. And it's about a boy by the name of Ryan who goes on an adventure that he didn't really expect to go on by going to the library and picking up a rare book of magic that actually worked. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, and it ends up that he has all of these great adventures. So if you want to read the book, it's on Amazon. You can read it. I might get it made into soft copy, so that if you want to really read it and actually have it physically in front of you to read, you can do that. But you can get it on Kindle. You can read it on Kindle. And I'm looking forward to doing my other books. But yes, you have to have a vision in your mind and a progression of where you want to head it towards. So, and that's always good. You do that with everything in your life. You have an idea in your mind. What is your figure out what you have. What is your passion? What do you enjoy doing? If you were paid if you had that much money in your bank account right now, no worries in the world, what would you do with your life? What would you do? What would be your passion? Mine would be what I'm doing right now. So, regardless of money, regardless of fame and fortune, I always draw. I always draw. I never stop. I got to tell you, I was picking up. My mom called a little while ago, and I was busy trying to do another Brad Pitt picture. And this is just with pen. You know, I know. I do it all the time. I can't stop myself. I just go, right? Because I have to draw. There's some things in life that people like to do or have to do. I have to draw. And that's just the way I am. It's just what I do. And I love doing it. It's my passion. If people want to hire me for doing any kind of artwork or anything, look me up. There's my website right there, KimOverholt.com. And I do this thing. This is what I do. Today I'm actually running a little bit late, and just because I was having technical difficulties, and of course my mom called, and you don't want to stop your mom from talking. Your mom's your main, especially because yesterday was Mother's Day. She got me such a nice thing of flowers, and I in change had gotten her a nice thing of flowers too. So we did a nice exchange, and we were just saying hello to each other today, and. I've got a few things going on in the next few days, so I'm going to be. I'm hoping to make it in tomorrow, but I might have to make it tomorrow afternoon. So I'll be around. I'm always around, but more than anything, I'll be always excited to do any kind of drawing, painting, and stuff like that. That is my passion. That is what I love to do. And if you have a passion out there you want to let me know about, please let me know in the comments below too, because that's important. I love to see what you guys love to do too, because it gives me an idea of which way to head when I'm doing cartooning and things like that. So, what else can I tell you about cartooning? Your shapes, getting finding a character's ideas, finding an idea is always important. Having a great imagination. Looking up other cartoonists. I've told you in the past, you can always look up other cartoonists, see what they do, and kind of mimic them too. That's how you get started. It's always good to kind of emulate your idols, right? I've got one. Of course, I've been emulating an idol for I don't know how long. And look at how far it gets me, right? But anyways, yeah. So. Yeah, my mom goes, well, he's not getting any younger and he's not getting any better looking. I'm like, yeah, I know. But that's just like, you have to draw. I have to draw. I have to draw something. And okay, so when you're drawing as well, you get to keep in mind experimenting or trying things that maybe you've never done before, like maybe making different eyes, like to experiment making different shapes of eyes. 'Cause you can make eyes that kind of like are very simple, like that. You could start with an eye, or you can make something simple like that for cartoon eyes. That, or you can make it something more elaborate, or even change the shape of the eyes so you have it like faces that kind of look like this. Just play. You got to learn to do it somehow. Yeah, got a weird hairdo going on. I thought my hair was bad. And he's trapped in behind this guy here. What the heck? What the heck? There's a guy I saw yesterday, had hair like this. His sides of it was shaved, and he kind of looked a little bit maniacal. Does that look crazy to you? That's crazy, man. Okay, so yeah, play with it. Get some ideas for yourself. Again, I want to do a comic boot camp, but I want to make sure of what you want to learn. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. And I'm always excited to hear from you guys. I really am. I know, my enthusiasm is overwhelming. I know, but I'm an Overholt, so everything's over, over something. So, and like I say, if you want any help, let me know too. If you want me to do any painting for you, let me know. This is the kind of thing I want to find out what you want, what you got going on, and see where I can help out. All right. So, as my mama would say, peace, oh brother, with a little bit added. I hope you have a fantastic day. Keep out of trouble. Keep your nose clean. I don't even know what that means anymore. Um, and just don't put your your nose where it doesn't belong. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, because if you do, you could end up in a lot of trouble. I don't want any trouble. Keep it easy.